Hi,
Hi, Anita. How are you?
good. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
How was your live this evening?
It was fun. They're always fun.
I actually couldn't be there because we just got off of a Zoom call for my cousin's birthday, so I
Oh, that's
wasn't
great.
there, but it was yeah. How are you
Yeah,
been?
no. Been shockingly busy for the situation that we're in, but it's been nice.
Cool. So, I mean, it's the first time we actually meet each other, so I can tell you a bit about myself, and then we can like discuss each other a bit, and then we can like talk about quarantine and stuff.
For sure.
Yeah, so basically, I know I was telling you that music is really important to me. So I'll tell you why. Back like a few years ago, like let's say many years ago, I had a lot of issues with like anxiety and depression. I'm still going through that stuff, but a lot less now. And music got me through a lot of that stuff. And you know, like the music and the lyrics. And I'm also friendly with a lot of performers. So just getting to know a lot of people in the scene and just basically that kind of stuff got me like really like it made me feel a lot better. So it's become a really big part of my life. And I often try to like help out different musicians in the past, and it never really worked out until a couple of years ago. And so that was a really important thing to me.
Mhm.
And so like I really wanted to give back to the musicians now because I know they're having a hard time with the quarantine and all that. So I thought like, discussing what they're going through and all that is pretty interesting for others to hear also and just getting the word out there because like I said, music is really important to me and I want to give back to them now. So it's kind of how this started. So I've been reaching out to a lot of different artists, which has been pretty interesting. And it's been also a nice project for me to do because I'm getting in touch with them and it's been helping me through the quarantine and I'm guessing and hoping it's been helping them to get the word out and like, teach people and let people know what they're going through. And I've had a lot of different reactions on it. It's like some people are like going through it a lot rougher and some people it's not as bad. So it's all different things we're hearing and that's kind of how it's been so far. And also I just finished school. I'm about to graduate, so in a week today I'll be graduating online.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So I've been studying special care counseling, which is working with special needs. So a lot of that anxiety and depression and all that is stuff that I'm going to be working with. So it's good to, have an idea of what I'm going to be working with because going through that stuff, I feel like I'll understand it even more when I'm working with it.
Most
So
certainly. Yeah,
it's been really interesting for me. And yeah, so that's
great.
where I've been
As a
recently.
fellow anxiety sufferer, I know exactly how important music is. So thank you for sharing. And thank you for all that you're doing
No
just to
problem.
help in your own way. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's fun. And you, what's,
Well, I guess that's why I started live streaming is if I was going to be stuck at home during this, what was one way that I could actually help? I kind of felt a little helpless when all of this was happening. And I know that it's not fun to be graduating online. I
yeah,
teach at Algonquin College, so a lot of my students are currently graduating as well, and I
yeah.
can't be with them. So I know that it's a hard time. You're celebrating, but you wish that the celebration was a little bit bigger. But
It's hard.
we're hanging out,
A
so
lot
that's pretty big.
we didn't even get our grad pics taken, and we're trying to fight for that because we weren't even told about it.
Hmm.
So we're trying to like fight for that too now, and just we tried to get our graduation later in the year, but the school wanted us
Yeah,
to do it right away. So it's a rough
yeah,
situation for us too, but I mean, at least we're gonna come together even on like Zoom or whatever it may be that we're gonna be doing it on. At least
yeah.
we'll all be together one last time with our teachers and all that. And then
Oh,
I
for
think we're
sure.
gonna
And
try
I
to
think that
do
it's going
something.
to be a lot of celebrations when this is all said
Yeah,
and
a couple of
done.
my classmates wanted to like try to plan something, so that's in process too.
Yeah, that's
So it's
good.
pretty interesting. So it's different, but even my final presentation had to be over video. It was
Yeah.
strange.
No, no, I know. And I think I've had a couple of students join as we started, and they know that they had to do a whole bunch of final presentations with me over
Yeah.
Zoom via video as well. So at least you know you're not alone, that we were all in this together. So thanks everybody for coming over from my
Yeah.
page as well. I'm seeing you pop up there. Thanks for tuning in.
So I guess you've been doing more lives now than before. Were you doing any live streams before this or?
Nope, that
No.
wasn't something I was doing. I went live for the first time the weekend that everything started shutting down. And the night that I went live, it's really because I was supposed to be performing for my students. They are wonderful and they organize a charity campaign every semester. So this was supposed to be a big event in the charity campaign. I normally donate a performance and we're all together that night and it was canceled just the day before. So it was pretty hard on everybody and especially hard on them. So I said, well, if I can't play for you in person, then I can at least play music for you online and hopefully be just a little bit of a distraction from what I thought was just going to be a difficult couple of weeks. Obviously, it's
Yeah.
turned into something a lot bigger. So
Yeah, it
now I've
started
been live
a couple of
streaming
weeks
a
and then
lot
it just,
just since then.
yeah. That's cool though. And then I just started from that and then I just kept going into what it is now.
Yeah, well, I guess I noticed that I was able to connect with people that I hadn't seen in many years. I was able to connect with people in other cities that there's no way I would see unless I'd be touring. And just to know as well, I know so many friends that are living completely alone and that this time isn't easy for anybody. So when I started live streaming, it was for Art Night Online, and that was
Mhm.
for art and music therapy just to kind of get all of us through this together.
Yeah, I understand that. Like a lot of my friends live alone also, and it's been a lot harder on them. And I
Yeah.
told them, I'm like, if ever you guys are interested, tune into my lives in the evening. It's pretty interesting, you know? So it's like, and I've also watched a lot of other performers that were like performing live, so it's been helpful. Again, the music scene is important to me, so it's been really helpful and nice to see that. So
Good.
I'm trying to find
Yeah,
some
well, maybe it's
self-care.
Sky in the comments who's saying that she's completely alone in quarantine.
Yeah.
Know that that's hard, but you're not alone. You're with us right now. So that's been really great. So it's nice that you're doing the split screens too, and that's what I was doing tonight. I wasn't live streaming music. I was just welcoming anybody who wanted to come
Yeah.
in for a chat.
Yeah. Well, yeah, these live streams that I'm doing, it's just randomly started actually. It started on the peptides and I was just talking to one of them. I was talking to Didi actually.
Yeah.
And it just ever like that one went really well. So I said, "Oh, let me try with another friend that I know who's in music." And it just boom 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 and it just kept going and now it's like number 12 or something that I'm doing and I have another 5 or 6 lined up for the next couple of weeks, you know? So
Yeah.
it's been pretty successful. It's been pretty interesting. Like I said, everyone's so different and so interesting. And it's just nice to hear what people are going through. And I'm going to be talking to a few that I've spoken to already. I'm going to talk to them like in a couple of weeks again as a follow-up just to see how they've been doing through the quarantine and how it's been, because it's been a few weeks, you know, so to come back and just see how they've been doing since then.
Yeah, for
Yeah, it's
sure.
pretty interesting. Yeah. So
Good.
we're trying. We're trying. Not easy.
Yeah.
So you said you like teach also in music, right?
Yeah, so I teach at Algonquin College here in Ottawa, and I teach in a few different programs. So one is public relations. So my students are the ones who are organizing the charity campaign. They organize a series of events to raise money for different charities. But I also teach in the music industry arts program and in the performing arts program at the college.
And did all that go like that went online? Like you were doing that online, I guess, after like the class? Yeah.
Everything. Yeah. And so
That.
it was the day that they had announced that the college was closing. I was teaching in all three programs that Friday, and I had a show that night, so it's like a nightmare day for me. And so I was at the public relations students in the morning. They're slowly finding out that the campaign's probably going to have to be canceled. My performing arts students had been working on a show to go up the next week. They've been working on it for 2 months and the music industry arts were just finding out that they didn't have access to the music studio and things anymore. So it was a lot for me because I had 160 students last term.
Oh my.
So you're just kind of okay, this is happening. It's gonna be okay, everybody. I'll figure it out. And
No one knew. It was so new to everyone. We haven't been, I don't think in our lifetime we've never been through anything like this, you know?
no,
So like everyone's just learning as we go and just every day something else is coming up and it's like, oh, now there's this and now there's this. And I think
yeah,
I just heard like yesterday or today that in the next couple of days they're going to be starting, well, here in Montreal where I am, they're going to be starting some social, like small social gatherings,
yeah,
still with like certain things you have to keep under like control, whatever. But I think like they're starting like about 10 people at most,
yeah,
that it's like okay, but then like it's who knows, right? And like even me for my graduating year, like we had this final project that we had to do. I was doing an internship and then my project. That's all I had. And the project was basically a 4 hour class and that was all done online and my internship I had to stop. Actually, I'm by chance doing them on Zoom with the group because they invited me to join them. But that wasn't even supposed to happen. Just they liked me so much they invited me to join, and now I can be a part of it until the end of the school year before I was supposed to finish a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's like
No, it's a
it
lot of
but
uncertainty for all of us. So it was emotionally taxing for a few weeks of just having to be the strong one, still at the front of the classroom, but teaching fully online suddenly for
yeah,
those last 5 weeks. So yeah, it was really hard towards the end, but then we all made it through, and I'd much rather know that everybody's safe. And
safe and
now just
healthy
starting teaching again this week for the spring term. So again, fully online,
online. What do you guys
mostly
use?
here from
Zoom?
my base. Sorry?
What do you use? What platform do you use for the online courses? Zoom?
Yeah, so
Okay.
Zoom, and then we've got a whole learning management system, so it's okay. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, we were using Adobe Connect, so we didn't even see anybody. We just saw our teachers' faces. It was really strange. And the
Hmm.
final presentation also was just like our camera was on and we didn't see anybody. And if I were to do it in school, I would be standing on a stage in front of all these people who I don't know. So in a way, I was like, this is nice.
Hmm.
But at the same time, it's like, it was just strange to not be talking to anyone. Usually you're there talking to people, and now you're at your screen, you know? It was really strange.
Yeah, no, it
I
was
don't know.
something for all of us to get used to. I don't think that any of us are going to be permanently used to something like that, but
Yeah.
yeah.
And before this whole thing, were you performing a lot? Like, how was that?
Oh yeah, so I typically perform about 75 shows in person a year in Ottawa. I was supposed to be going back to Portugal this summer to tour, so we'd already booked the flights, so we've had to
Uh,
delay all of that, postpone all of that, cancel all of those festivals and everything else that we were planning over the summer. And so it's really just all fully gone online. So it's been nice to have that push because it's something that I wanted to do for a long time is
mhm.
push everything and do more digitally. So it was a nice push, but I think I've overdone it this week. It's been a lot of screen time. My brain hurts, but hopefully it sounds and looks good at the end of all of this.
I'm sure it will. I mean, it's you never know, right? But so far, from what I've seen, it's different. We don't know. We don't. Has it been successful so far? Like I'm guessing the shows you've done on here.
Yeah, they've been very successful. And even if you look at the numbers, I think a lot of independent artists were used to having a struggle to try to get 15 to 20 people out to a show. And
Hmm.
then on this, I'm usually simultaneously stream on Facebook and Instagram at the same time. I've also done Facebook and YouTube, and then I recently started on Twitch. And you have a minimum of normally 5 people watching at a time. Like even
Hmm.
now, there's 6 people
Yeah.
watching this, which like you normally you can't even drag 6 people out just to come to a show. So on Facebook, I can have hundreds of people tuning in a way that I wasn't getting in a live performance. And now it's starting to go around the globe. So it's been really, really successful. So even if it feels discouraging when you sometimes see other people's live stream numbers. And I know some people have told me that like, oh, I can't watch your live streams because it's just too discouraging that I'm not live streaming,
Yeah.
or it's discouraging that you have these numbers and I don't have these numbers. It's not really about that. Like if you have 5 people watching you, that's crazy. There's 7 people here now. Like that's insane that those
Well,
people
for
are
me, this
here
is insane because
watching.
before this, I've never done live things. So like the first time when I did that one that I was talking about before, we had like 5, 6 people, and for me, I was like, yes, you
Yeah.
know. So
No, it's a
it's
huge
a whole new
thing.
thing for me, but I enjoy it because I like talking. Like I said, I like talking to musicians and I like getting to know what they're going through and stuff. So
Hi there, Bob. Hi there, Jason. I'm sorry, I have to say hi because you're popping up there. Hi, guys. We're just talking live streams.
yeah, so
Yeah. So I never want it to be discouraging to people, and that's why we've been doing that Tuesday open mic night. So I've been co-hosting an open mic with Jump and Joel Flash, who's just a magnificent performer, and we raise money for Live on Elgin, which is a really important music venue here in
Mhm.
Ottawa. And it's just this Instagram split screen, and you know how easy it is. You just scroll over, you click live, and you're
Yeah.
live. The technical barrier is really low, and it's a really safe place to just press that go live button. And that was important to me because after that very first stream that I ever did, like I was terrified to press that button too the
Mhm.
first time I did it. So many people were writing and saying, "Oh, that was so cool," and
Yeah.
I could never do that. I'm like, "Yeah, you can. Just join me on Tuesdays and just come see how easy it is." And we've normally got about 17 to 20 people watching.
That's cool.
Everybody's super kind and supportive, and it's just a really safe place to press that button for the first time. So if you do know people who want to live stream, then just have them DM me to get on the
Yeah,
list and join on Tuesdays because it's
sure.
so beautiful. It's so much fun.
Nice. Yeah, even
Yeah.
me the first time I was like I was so nervous. I wanted to do it because for me it's important also. But I'm just
Yeah.
sitting here, I'm just like I'm sweating and I'm like, "Oh my God, like I'm so nervous."
Yeah.
I'm just like, "Is it over yet?" And then it went
Stage
really
fright for
well.
sure.
It went really well. And then I talked to a friend and I'm like, "Hey, you want to do one next week?" And he's like, "Sure." And I said, "Oh no. Oh no." And then I kept going. I'm like,
Yeah.
it got better. And then a couple of weeks ago, I was talking to a couple of people for the first time, and I was like, oh no, we've never spoken. And then today I'm like, we've chatted, but we've never seen each other. you know? But I'm like, I love
Yeah,
it
but
because
I typically tend to think that I'm not a very scary person, so it's okay. But I
well,
see another student of mine that just popped in. He might disagree. I might be terrifying.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, so far from what I've seen, not so much. Especially that dinosaur suit. What is that all about?
It's pretty scary. Yeah.
What is it all about? I've seen it a
No,
couple of times. What?
it's so funny. I love that. I love
I
that
love it,
inflatable
but
dinosaur.
why?
I know. I also asked myself why. Boredom, pretty much. But it was also just a way of making people laugh. My online presence before all of this happened was pretty business oriented. It was mostly just music. Like I'm playing at this place,
Mhm.
I'm standing here with a guitar. Like those are all of the things I'm going to post. But again, when a crisis like this happens and you're asking yourself, what can you actually do? Like my partner's an engineer. He's got a 3D printer. He can print ventilator parts and mask parts. And I'm sitting here like, well, what can I do? Well, I sing okay, so maybe I can try to sing some stuff. So really, that's where all of that came from. So even the dinosaur costume, it was so hard for me to feel how hard it was for everybody. And yeah, it's hard for me too, but I know that it's infinitely harder for other people. So if I can make people smile for the first time, and I knew when this started that the internet was just going to become a worse and worse place. So if I throw some dinosaur costumes in there and I can get people to throw some art into the mix, then at least it's a slightly better place. And if we're all there almost every single day, all day, you don't want that to be the worst place imaginable. So
So
let's
even
fill it
that's
full
a
of
new thing.
art and dinosaurs.
Even the dinosaurs a new thing.
Yep, it's all very, very new. Hey, Ali doesn't think it's terrifying. She thinks it's funny. That's good.
Well, I signed on like I saw Danielle's live, and I'm looking and what is
Yeah, I
that?
haven't
Is
heard
that
it
just like
live yet. I don't think you'd be able to hear me through the fan and
I think it was
the
the first time
massive
I opened one of
plastic
your
over
lives and I saw that, and I'm like, this
here.
chick. It was great though. No, I kept going on. I'm just like, oh, nice. It makes for a good time. Why not, right?
Oh yeah, I've had fun with it.
It's hilarious. I love it. Cool. Yeah, so that was pretty much what I want to talk about. I don't know, we can ask if there's anybody who has questions, which I normally do before we go to the music. I guess if anyone has questions that they want to ask, you guys can type them in, and then we'll wait a couple of minutes, I guess, and then we can
Yeah,
maybe.
there's usually a pretty big delay I've found
Yeah,
between between talking and when things pop up in the chat.
yeah. I mean, I can wait a couple of minutes.
Yeah, if I scroll up, was there anything up? We got some people that love open mic nights. Yes, please join us for open mic night because it's really fun and it's a really beautiful place. So that's why I tried when I was live streaming to just find a bunch of different kinds of formats and maybe people can pick and choose what it is they like. Some people want to see people's faces and they just
Hmm.
want to talk to a person. So I have that talk show. Some people just want to make art and not get all looking ready for a video, and they just want to watch me in their pajamas and listen to some music. So they've got that too. But the
I think
open mic has been
it's
really special.
quarantine. A lot of people are in their pajamas all the time now. So, you know?
Yeah. That's been something that I've enjoyed too, is getting, when you're a musician, you're always working at the same time as all of your friends. So they're like, come to my show. I'm like, I would, but I'm also playing a
Yeah.
show. And you've got 12 different friends playing at 12 different venues on one night. So what's been kind of nice about all of these live streams is like I can be in the comfort of my home. I don't have to worry about parking
Hmm.
and driving around and trying to get into all of these different places and whether there's a lineup and everything else,
Yeah.
whether it's sold out, but I can still see all of my friends and I don't have to look half decent. Or as Sky
My
says,
first,
or you
my
might be
first,
naked.
my, my first online class, we didn't see
Or
anybody. It was
shoes.
just the teacher. So I was in PJs. I get up at 8 o'clock and I
Yep.
was in PJs. It was great. I
Yep.
just saw a couple of questions come in, I think. What's your favorite instrument to play?
Yeah, and that's Paul, and Paul's been just so lovely to me this week. I don't know what I did to have Paul be so nice, but he even came over and joined me on Twitch, which was great. Favorite instrument to play? Um, it's difficult because something that I didn't play often live as well before all of this was piano because it was terrifying for me. So I've been using open mic nights to try to like get over that fear because I'm much more comfortable on guitar. It's very easy to sing and play at the same time now. Whereas piano, like I really have to focus when I'm doing that, and I tend to get distracted during these live things. So I'm like reading the chat and trying to play.
Yeah.
So I gotta say, I guess it's guitar just because I'm much more comfortable. But from learning songs and understanding the theory, if anybody's just starting on an instrument, start with piano because it's just so easy to see what all of the notes are. It's so easy to learn the chord patterns, and it's so easy to just get any piece of music from any kind of chord website and you can just transfer that onto piano super quickly. But getting to play all the little pieces and sing, that's I'm working on it, but it's gonna be a lifelong thing probably.
I played piano when I was really young, but like my fingers were too small and I couldn't like stretch them out enough, so
Oh yeah, I've got really
it didn't
scary
work so well.
hands. Yeah, don't look at my hands too closely because they're like crazy long fingers. I
Most
know.
people say with my hands, it's horrible.
And Van Halen's eruption on ukulele, funny and skillful or not? I don't know, but I think that's what I'm doing directly after this because that sounds amazing, Allie. I once played a Punk Goes Acoustic night, which was so much fun, but we had to play punk songs on acoustic instruments, and I decided it would just be hilarious to take it one step further. We're not going to do it on acoustic guitar. We're going to do it on ukulele. So I played Avenged Sevenfold and some Jimmy Eat World on ukulele, and
And
it
how did that
was
go?
so great. It was so much
Right?
fun. Yeah.
These live streams are so much fun because you can do so much stuff that you'd never think you'd do, like, you know? So many
Yeah.
people, like, in the past few that I've spoken to, oh, you know what? We're gonna try something new for the first time that we've never done before. Why not? You know?
Yeah. Well, no, and even the amount of gear. So I've got tons of gear here that I've never brought around live just because it would be so much work to set up, and there's such a quick changeover between myself and other performers usually that I'm just used to like grabbing and then having to get off stage really fast that for me to set up like a loop pedal and all of these other things that I wanted to experiment more with, I haven't had the chance to do that live. So that's what I'm going to be doing more of on Twitch.
Hmm.
So you're going to get to see a whole different side of me if I keep getting locked in my basement for for the coming weeks is going to be me experimenting probably a whole lot more.
I hope it's not gonna be too many more weeks, but it would be nice to see people experimenting. So who knows, right?
Oh yeah,
I
there will
mean,
be some experimenting.
personally, you want to get out there, so you hope it's not that long, but at the same time, you're like, I want it to go on because I want to experiment more. Like
Yeah.
a 50-50, even
Oh
myself.
yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
And
Um,
another question is,
favorite
where's your
venue to
favorite
play.
venue to play? And my answer to that is probably why I love live streaming so much. And my answer to that is your living room. My favorite shows before all of this happened were house concerts. There's something to be said for really great outdoor festivals. Like I've done City Folk, I've done Blues Fest, I've done the really fun, like, oh my gosh, this is a massive stage and the sound is incredible, full band, high energy, really great. But for me, it still doesn't compare to just house concerts where people invite you into their home and they've got all of their friends there and you just get to share a day of music together. So the interaction for me was always something that was really important. I love getting asked questions and when people have questions about teaching or touring or just instruments, like this stuff I live for.
Yeah.
So it's probably why I'm liking live streaming so
Well,
much.
if you're ever in Montreal again, or if you ever play in Montreal, I don't know if you do, but I'd love to be there. So I will check that out and next time you're
Yeah,
here.
no, I've played in Montreal a few times, and it's really a nice place to play too, because there's just so much music in that city as well.
Yeah, it's nice with the music scene. Yeah, I'll definitely check out the next time you're here then.
Awesome! It was really, really nice for you to have me today.
It
Thank you.
was. Would you like to play something?
Yeah, and I think I'm gonna bite the bullet. I'm gonna play piano because I don't want to tune live on the air. So I think we're gonna play some piano, and it's gonna be a song called "Passing Notes," which is the name of my last album as well.
Cool.
So I hope that you like it.
All right, let's do it.
And I don't know why we fall. Why all I do is write these notes. I want to forget where I've been, but I can't seem to let you in. I can't seem to make you see I'm not the lover that I used to be. Now all I have are all these words, the things that you've already heard. Like it's not your fault. It wasn't our time. You gave me your heart. I couldn't give mine. No, it's not your fault. It wasn't our time. You gave me your heart. I couldn't give mine. Couldn't give mine. I wish I could make you believe. I truly don't want you to think. I mean these words I never write. I never want to see you cry. The scars they weren't alive for us. In love I don't think I can trust. So instead I will set you free to find out what it's meant to be. 'Cause it's not your fault. It wasn't our time. You gave me It's a song. And Paul, I'm sorry, the lyrics cut deep. I know.
And I believe we met at, did you meet at Kind Space?
I'm not sure if that was meant for me.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, no, that is a song, and normally what I miss a lot about live performance is just actually having the audience sing along. So for
Yeah.
that, people would sing, there's 4 words, you sing the chorus with me, and it's yeah, my claim to fame is I was touring in Germany and I played this hilarious German variety show. So they do a lot of those over there, and it's a mixture of comedy, circus, music, and just bedazzled suits. Like it was just an out of this world, very weird performance experience. So the MC was fabulous. He would do like random karaoke bits, but the whole thing was in German, and then I'm gonna go up there and I'm gonna sing in English, and I was just terrified because I was like, this isn't gonna work. It's gonna fall flat. What if they hate me? And there was a German ventriloquist who was going to be performing right before me, and she was hilarious. I didn't understand a word that she said, but she was very good, and the audience loved it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm following a German ventriloquist. What's gonna happen? And during the song, she burst into tears, and I was like, okay, I
Wow.
I did my job. I made a German ventriloquist cry.
Well, I mean, most people understand English, so they probably understood what you didn't understand them doing, you know?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So I realized that I had to really improve my German. That was the lesson on that tour.
Well, you're working on that too now during the quarantine?
Yeah, no, I'm working on lots of too many things. My brain needs to slow down a little bit
Yeah,
actually.
so
But
I
yes, I figured that message was between Sky and Allie, so that's wonderful. My students have raised money for Kind Space. It's a magnificent place. But I haven't had the pleasure of actually being there. I've met the wonderful folks that run it.
yeah, I've heard good things.
Oh, thank you, Sky. Well, it's very nice to see all of you. And again, if you want to join me over on my channels, you're always welcome. I'm streaming again on Twitch tomorrow at 7 p.m. So again, that's art night. You've got an art prompt. I play some music for you. And I am 9 followers away from being a Twitch affiliate, which is super exciting. And it just means that I can unlock so many cool things for people who like live streams and want to stick
Cool.
around. So yeah, so hopefully that happens this
Well,
week.
good luck.
Yes, thank you. So thank
Thank
you,
you for
Anita.
joining. It was really interesting.
No, it's my pleasure. And hopefully we get to meet in person at the end of all of
I
this.
hope so. I mean, I go to Ottawa once in a while for shows, but if you're ever around here, for sure, I try to go to as many shows as I can here, so.
Awesome. Yeah, well, we
Thank you
need
so
we need
much.
music supporters. We need Canadian music supporters, and it's really nice what you're doing. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Have
I
a
don't know.
good
Are
evening.
you kicking me out? Are you ending the stream? Am I kicking myself out?
I'll, all right. Thank
Okay.
you.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.
Bye, everyone.